We have more now on the breaking details from this hour's top story. Tom Perry, part of our CBC News team in Cairo, is reporting this hour that sources are telling CBC News the Rafah border crossing is slowly reopening this morning. There's no official confirmation, though, from officials in Gaza or on the Egyptian side. If Rafah reopens, it could allow Canadians and other foreign nationals inside Gaza to begin exiting to Egypt once again. Those Canadians would follow the journey made by this group. We look again at some of the video we showed for you yesterday for the first time from Cairo. About 75 Canadians, permanent residents and their families, part of the first large group of Canadians through the border crossing and into Egypt on Tuesday. And one of the members of that group is with me this morning, Wafa Shurrab. And Wafa is in Cairo, traveling home to Canada. Wafa, welcome to our program, and thank you for sharing your story today.
Thank you for having me.
I want to ask you, first of all, it's the simplest question, but it's the most important one. How are you this morning, Wafa?
Actually, I know I'm safe right here with my two kids, but it feels like I left part of me over there, back there in Gaza, with my mom, my dad, my brothers, my sisters, my family, my friends, everyone I know. So I feel devastated. I feel sad. I feel heartbroken. You know how it feels.
So much happening, so much churning in there at the same time. And I want to come back to your family that you've had to leave behind in just a moment. You mentioned your children, 8 and 12. They are traveling with you, obviously not right as I speak to you live this morning, but how are they through all of this?
They are safe, but, you know, they're worried. I'm trying to convince the little one that, especially the little one, he's 8, that everything is going to be okay. Yesterday he was like planes. He was terrified. I'm telling him it's just regular planes with people traveling. He can't hear loud voices. He can't, when he saw smoke from far away, he was terrified. I told him it's just a factory or something. Sometimes they're just sad. They're worried about their cousins, their friends, everything. They left everything behind. I left everything behind. Their memories, their loved ones, you know.
Too much for anyone 8 and 12, for sure. Just to be clear for people watching, you live in Toronto, in Brampton, to the west of Toronto, and also in Gaza, both cities, and children go to school in Gaza, as I understand. On Tuesday, you were part of that group, crossed on Tuesday, arrived in Cairo very early in the morning on Wednesday. And I'm wondering, Wafa, if you can tell me what you have been doing. We understand that Egypt is only allowing people crossing in to remain for 72 hours, so time is of the essence. What have you been doing to get back to Canada?
Actually, my husband booked a flight for me. It's tomorrow. I should leave tomorrow. Canadians here, Canadian officials, they offered help to people who can't afford to go back. They offered loans. They offered us a place to stay, a hotel, basic needs, medical care for people who needed this. You know, they did what they can.
They did. I was going to ask you that. What have you thought of the information you've received and also the care and support that you've received from Canadian government officials?
Yes, they did what they could. They were at the Rafah border. They offered us buses to Cairo. Here, they were here in the hotel when we arrived. They helped us with everything. They talked to us. They did their best. I know they did their best.
You're fortunate to have your husband arranging things from this end of things. He's in Brampton with another of your children, an older daughter. What has this whole month been like for them as they have watched, and I'm sure worried, tremendously from afar, Wafa?
It has been a nightmare for everyone. Gaza, as you know, Gaza is a state of death right now. more than 11,000 people were killed. We survived because we were lucky enough. We didn't survive because we moved to the south. The house that we used to be in was destroyed. I moved to my parents' house in the Gaza city. Then the IDF said that everyone has moved to the south, the south of Gaza. So I left again my parents' house. We all left to the south. We separated. I didn't have the chance to say goodbye to my parents, my brothers, my sisters. Yeah, very hard time.
Your thoughts are with them. And then that trip, as you move from your house, so again, the loss that you felt so personally, that house destroyed, you moved to your parents' home, and then your husband is quoted actually in a newspaper article here in Canada, Wafa, saying that he didn't even believe it when he got word that you were going to be on that list to get through the border crossing. So he didn't believe it at first. But obviously, I don't know if he's watching this morning, but he's there. I'm sure he's thrilled to see you well and safe and almost on your way home. But what was the journey like? We've been talking about this for the people who are making it now. The journey for you from your parents' home in Gaza City to that Rafah border crossing. What did you see and experience along the way?
It was terrifying. Destroyed houses all the way. Even if I was in the south, then I have to move to the border. No one guaranteed that it will be safe to get to the border. Even the embassies. I know many of Canadians, many of Americans, many of the people with other nationalities, they're stuck in Gaza, in the city, and they can't move to the south because it's not safe. There's no safe route. There's no safe zone. There's bombing all around, dead bodies in the streets. It's death all around.
And so as we speak today, is there, with all of the things that you're feeling, is there a sense of tomorrow can't get here soon enough? I've got to get on that plane and get home, or get to Toronto, get to Brampton, get to my family to safety?
Actually, I know I'll be able to get to Toronto to be with my husband and my daughter. But I keep thinking about people over there. I left a part of me over there. I can't just live like nothing happened, right? They are my family, they are my friends, they are my neighbors, everyone. So I just can't live normally again. Because this madness has to stop. Everything has to stop. They are innocent people. They deserve to live. They have dreams. Their lives are valuable, just like everyone's life. They are not just numbers.
When you say this has to stop, Wafa, one of the things that we're talking about today is there are a number of reports saying that there are serious talks going on to pause humanitarian pauses, but pause in the fighting to allow for the release of some of the hostages. And these are some of the negotiations that are going on right now. As you follow along with what is happening sort of at the upper levels with diplomats and governments and countries, I mean, what are your thoughts as you hear those details and as you follow sort of the news on all of this?
Actually, we've been hearing this for a very long time now. Nothing is happening on the ground. Yeah? I'm trying to reach my family for a few hours now, and I can't. There's no connection. There's no electricity. There's no food, no clean water. They have to cease fire. It's madness over there. There are thousands of people under the rubble. So I have to see this happening to believe it.
Wafa, your husband said he had to see to believe it that you were going through the border crossing. So at least that part has come true. We will wish you safe travels tomorrow and a return to Canada, and certainly stay in touch with you and thoughts with your family too. I really appreciate hearing your story this morning.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Wafa Shurrab, as she awaits her flight tomorrow, and she's in Cairo.